District Court. We have the Honorable Robert Jakey and Mental Health Court Coordinator Khalil Pauly. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Welcome. This is Khalil's first time on our show. Judge, you've been here a few times.
One time.
Just one time?
This is my second time.
Oh my gosh, well, we're
Yeah.
going to make a note of that. You'll
Right.
have to come back more often, and you as well. Well, we wanted to have you here today because we heard about something new and exciting that is part of our court system in Jackson County. What is it?
Well, we're actually in progress running a mental health specialty court, a problem-solving court here in Jackson County. I think it just started in officially with the grant starting this time would have been last month, I believe.
Correct. We've been operational since October.
That's awesome. It's great news. And maybe people didn't know we never had a mental health court before. We've had other specialty courts like drug court, but mental health court, how did it come about?
Well, we actually have had one in Jackson County. And there was Judge Claren he was the program judge for the period, I learned 2008 up until 2021. And so Jackson County did have a mental health specialty court during that period of time. And I think with the advent, when we had experienced as a community COVID, it kind of led to its demise for whatever reason. That was the main significant factor is the way I understand it. That was before my time.
Yes, well, Judge Cleary, I remember he was one of the proud Kiwanians in Jackson and was very involved with that, but also very well respected on the bench.
Right. So when we talked about, I was appointed in 2022, and one of the things that I wanted to see is to reestablish the mental health court. And so I'm so glad that it has happened. And of course, it's not one person that does it. Mm-hmm. We applied for a pilot grant to research and start operating the court a year ago and got that funded. And then KP came in not too long ago. When we're actually in the operating program now, we're actually bringing in people that are...
It's active.
It's actually running. So in fact, today somebody just got sentenced into the court.
And as court coordinator, mental health court coordinator, what do you do?
So I have a lot of the behind the scenes as well as assistance with the supervision. Again, the mental health court is a specialty probation program. It's a collaboration between the district court, Fourth Circuit Court, MDOC, Lifeways. So a lot of my role involves just making sure that everyone is able to assist each other as we're assisting the participants in bettering themselves.
Is it different than the court that Judge Crary started, or are you just picking up from the way it used to operate?
Right, Judge Claren. Our court, I like to think that we're starting new. Mm-hmm. And so it's not like the baton's been handed off and we're just picking up and moving forward. So obviously I'm a new person. We've got different leadership at Lifeways, as you may know. They're really on board, and they're really the people that are going to be doing the work here with the participants in the mental health court. So it's a whole new formulation of personalities and people, and it's exciting for me to be involved with it. My small role, which is just very minimal, I think. I just have to follow the laws and make sure they're being followed. We get some laws from guidance from the legislature. It's a very skeleton type law, and what I've learned from going through the trainings in Lansing and whatnot is that each county can kind of learn their own community and do it their own way. So it'll be exciting.
Let's talk about maybe a specific example of how someone would encounter and be part of the drug court. Does it begin with an arrest?
Anybody that's in the mental health court, we're separate from the drug treatment court. Judge Jordan's running that. sometimes I think we've had some referrals from that court where people aren't, they're realized through just involvements with other people that maybe the root issue is maybe a psychiatric issue or a serious mental health problem. If that's the case, we can bring into the mental health court anybody during any proceeding. Of course, they have to be adjudicated guilty of some sort of a crime. So just a person on the street that's suffering from mental illness, that's struggling with getting along with the ordinary problems with life, they're not eligible to come into our court unless they've got convicted of a crime. Once that happens, they could be diverted into this court. And I want to tell you, Bart, the court that we're running, our grant, encompasses both the district court, people that are convicted or cause problems that result in a misdemeanor conviction, that's something punishable by under 1 year, as well as a felony conviction. And so when we applied for our court, we got group permission from all the judges in the county, so I'll be serving as a circuit court judge as well. If somebody's been convicted of a felony under 5 years, maximum penalty, they're eligible for our participation in our court.
Now, does that person, say it is a felony conviction, a 5-year felony conviction, does the sentence or whatever you would do with that individual change so that they aren't going to a prison for 5 years?
That's right. They'll be placed on probation. Minimum 15 months, up to 24 months in probation. And so that's one of the incentives. The person that's suffering from mental problem probably isn't going to get the treatment that they need to learn and move forward in our society by being housed in prison. I know there's some programs in jail. Our county jail has some programs which are great. I don't know so much what's going on in this Department of Corrections, but here we've got local people at Community Mental Health that can really help people out. That's what I'm hoping to see.
And then you have some sort of monitoring system so that if someone does get the sentence of probation for, say, 18 months, and then there's a treatment plan that has to go along with that, and then you stay on top of that.
Correct. Yeah, the program, again, is very much a collaboration between community resources. Obviously, probation officers are a part of that, probation agencies, but the goal is that we're ultimately pointing them in the direction of mental health services. That's why Lifeways is on our team. That's why we collaborate with them. Our hope in the future is perhaps other mental health providers in the county are able to join hands with us so that we can offer more resources. But again, their supervision is very grounded on making sure they're participating in that mental health treatment.
Who makes the initial assessment about an individual? Is it you? Do you have an opportunity to observe and then review the case and make that assessment?
I'm going to turn to KP on that one because I'm not an expert. I don't know. Ultimately, the people at Lifeways are the professionals on that. But KP is kind of the main filter and the gate as far as applicants. So if somebody is identified as having a potential problem, they want to get into the program. There's many different ways to get the referral, but it comes right to KP, and then I'll let him describe what he does then.
Correct. Yeah, referrals can come from anyone, from an attorney, a judge themselves that sees it, even a family member or a caretaker of a defendant that may think they may be appropriate. Before the court really steps in to do any sort of screening, we make sure that Lifeways or some mental health provider has screened them to rule out any ineligibilities as far as the presence of a mental health diagnosis. And assuming that they do have something going on, we can screen them from the court's end for their criminological risk, as well as what sort of history they may have that may make them inappropriate for a probationary sentence.
In your experience in the past, when maybe you made the assessment that this person does have a serious mental health issue, your hands have been tied, right?
Well, not necessarily tied, but the mental health court problem-solving court. What that brings along with it is super intimate supervision, close supervision, a lot of contact with KP, maybe twice a month at least. And then I'll talk to them in court, the people that are participating, at least probably twice a month. So a regular probationer I would never see unless there's a problem. It's on probation. Obviously, my background, you may remember, is I handled Social Security disability claims for about a decade coming into this. And the vast majority of my clients that I was representing suffered from both maybe some sort of physical problem, but most everyone had a component of mental. And so I think that based on that 10 years of experience dealing with people that are suffering in our community from that type of thing, it really opened my eyes. And I know that a lot of my clients back then got a super great help from Lifeways. And I hope that what's going on now, I know that that's a super great asset in our community. I wanted to also say that, without them, and they're the key player, we wouldn't be able to do it. Also, all the people down at the courthouse that have stepped up to the plate, KP left a court officer position to do this job, make it really great. Here in our community, there's so much positive feedback I'm getting just off the ground. And of course, I'll tell you, Bart, the money obligation to pay for all this it's a grant from the state. And so there's no outlay from the county. And I have to thank the county for approving it, because we got the grant, applied for the grant, and then we needed the approval from the county commissioners, and they seem to be largely in support of this, which I appreciate fully. I think it's a great program.
We will have you come back so we can follow the progress of this new mental health court and hopefully hear some great success stories.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm positive that it will. Everybody that's coming in, I'm telling them, hey, you're going to be the first people going through, and everybody's really, we just had one today, and everybody was really super happy and excited to be in the program, so I hope that continues.
Well, these folks must be relieved that there's going to be some sympathetic ears that understand that they are suffering with an illness that got them into trouble. So anxious to hear how it goes. Good luck with it.
Thanks, Bart. Thank you for having us down here.
Good to see you both. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Judge Robert Jakey and Kelly O'Polly from 12th District Court, the new 12th District Court Mental Health Court for Jackson County. More to